Ahava blessings. Welcome to this video. My name is Ana Otero and I'm the founder of the Desert Rose Mystery School. In this video, we're going to talk about the creation frequencies for the month of August 2025. So let us start with the month that we are in. And so when I look at the energy of the month, I look at the Aramaic calendar, right? The Aramaic cycles that is similar to the Hebrew one, but really infused with Aramaic mysticism. And I also look at the Kabbalistic astrology. I look at the Gnostic portals that we are also experiencing. And then I bring in and create this integration so that we know how to move within the cycles. And so we are in the month of Av, Leo. And the month of August begins with the month of Av, Leo, also begins with the beautiful festivity of Lammas, which is all about celebrating the harvest, celebrating the abundance, celebrating everything that we have. And so this is a very interesting month because it is almost like a continuation of the month of Tammuz. Well, it is, because the month of Tammuz, Cancer, is the most difficult month of the year because so much light pours in, and depending on the amount of work that we have done and that we are doing, we can sustain that light, or that light creates chaos. And so we've had this opportunity to dive into the soul, into the inner journey, and now we're in this month of Av, and the first 9 days of the month of Av are known as the month of the days of mourning. And I know that, and you probably know, many of you watching this, that these cycles and this beautiful calendar, lunar calendar, is connected to biblical stories. But we need to understand that all of these cycles go beyond the biblical stories. The stories happen because of the portal. And so on the 9th day of Av, so many things happen, like World War I, the Hebrews were expelled from Spain, England and France, and different timelines, of course. Many things happen, right? The destruction of the two temples, the one in Babylonia, the one in Jerusalem, the Temple of Solomon. And we can go on and on. And so the month of Av, these first 9 days are about an inner shattering and something that is breaking within us. And then on the 9th of Av, which is this day that has the culmination of, or creation or destruction. This is really important because we tend to see this day as a day of destruction. And this is how it's taught. But actually, if we have done the work, and we can start doing the work now, right? If we have done the work, we are actually in the highest point of creation. And so it's all about cultivating the light. It's all about channeling our energy and moving it away from our destructive tendencies and our negativity into the light. Now, the 9th day is the 2nd of August. And so if you're watching this, make sure that you at least meditate before the 2nd of August. If not, all is good. Because the most beautiful aspect of this month is that on the 15th day, we have the day of love. And on the 15th day of the lunar cycle, not of August, which is on the Lion's Gate, this is known as the day of love, and everything will be in harmony from that day. All the intensity that we have been feeling the past weeks, and we can even see it in the world with things escalating in Gaza, Israel, all of that escalating to a point that we're frustrated as a humanity because we only want peace, and we can feel that separation and that inner war inside of us, and we just want peace. We want safety for everyone. And so we can feel that energy as of the 15th, and we can start praying now, which is the 8th of August, the Lionsgate portal. We will go into an expansion of love, of beauty, and of unity. And this is why it is so important to cultivate this in this moment. The Lionsgate portal, as we all know, is it starts on the 26th of July. This is the feast day of Mother Anna, because Mother Anna is connected to our soul mission as she guards the book of life that we receive and that we activate in the ethers. And it lasts until about the 12th, 14th, more or less. And so on the 8th, it's the peak of the Lion's Gate, and on the 8th, we have this tremendous energy right? A tremendous, just a celestial energy that can awaken us. They're light codes at the end of the day, right? And I know that some of you and many of you have gotten in touch with me saying, well, people say the Lion's Gate doesn't really exist, that it's all a lie. It's okay, but the portal exists. It's 8-8, okay? And in that portal, it is all about mission. But we forget to understand that the messages that we receive on sovereignty, right, on the strength, right, Yeshua was called the Lion of Judah, right, all of this lioness strength, we tend to forget that that strength comes from divine union. And if we look at the number 8, it is the Vesica Pisces, and it is infinity, it is divine union. And so we strengthen our sovereignty through divine union. We strengthen our mission through divine union, and that divine union begins within ourselves, right? The word in Hebrew, shalom, in Aramaic, shlama, means peace, right? But it actually means, if we go deep down inside into the meaning, it means to be complete, to be whole, to feel complete and to feel whole, to feel that unity, to feel the divine union. And when we feel that divine union, we are living in peace, in shalom, right? And so on this Lion's Gate, as we do have Venus in Cancer, and I think this is a very, very important placement to talk about, because we usually hear the word the Venus lineage, the Rose lineage, when we talk about or we read about Mary Magdalene and Yeshua, especially in the New Age writings. And the lineage of Venus represents the Garden of Eden. It represents the dimension of the Garden of Eden here on Earth. There's a dimension in the ethers as well. And so actually, when we say the lineage of Venus, we're saying the lineage of the Garden of Eden. The garden, which is our purity, which is our wholeness, which is the tree of life, our true template, not the tree of knowledge of good and evil, duality, same tree, just different experiences, right? Just like when we are the same person, but when we awaken, we are different, right? And so as Venus is in Cancer, it is an important energy to talk about, because Venus represents the Garden of Eden. Venus represents our true nature, our essence of unity. And when it is in Cancer, the energy is very powerful. And not just for us here on Earth. Okay, Venus in Cancer, it is about nurturing our creativity. It is about healing the feminine and healing the inner feminine, and being okay with the feminine way of loving, of receiving, of doing, of creating, of being in that space. But at the same time, remember that Cancer represents the us being guardians of the mystery teachings, and Cancer represents when the souls come into the world, the preparation of the souls coming into the world. And so in the Kabbalistic astrology, when Venus is in Cancer, there are souls, very high vibrational souls right now, that are preparing to enter into the world. And so this is really, really important. And we can help them with this transition into coming into the earth. And sometimes, very interesting, they do not just come here through the physical portal of a woman, of a womb. They appear, they embody, right? And that has happened before. And so we're talking about very, very evolved souls that are getting ready to come into our dimension. And we can help them come into the earth by praying, by being in divine union, and of course, by connecting with Sarat Tamar. By connecting with Sarat Tamar, she is the Christ, the child of Yeshua and Mary Magdalene. When we connect with Sarat Tamar, we can help bring in these beautiful souls into the earth, because we need them right now. And we need them right now, not just because they will grow and evolve into these high holy teachers, but their frequency is needed here on the planet. Their energy is needed here on the planet, right? Because we all hold frequencies and energies beyond what we do and reveal, right? And manifest. Very, very important. And also, as we cultivate that inner divine union, and as we cultivate a reality of nurturing the feminine and honoring the feminine energy, this actually speeds up the process for these beautiful souls to come into our dimension. So very, very important. Let's go back to the Lion's Gate portal. And so again, divine union within. Am I in divine union with the earth? We can call in Saratamar so that we can ground our energy into the earth to become one with the Divine Mother. Am I in that unity? Also, divine union with everything outside of us. We always need to remember that Yeshua said the kingdom is within, but outside as well. It's also outside. And so it is about, and in the path of Mary Magdalene and Yeshua, spirituality was not complete until it was manifested in the external. So it's not just about our inner union. Working and cultivating that divine union within is important, but we also need to see it in the external realm, right? We need to see it manifested in our relationships and our creations. And so this is a very, very important aspect of this beautiful month. August is a very powerful month because it is a number 8. But remember that number 8 represents pure energy, but it also represents the lack of energy. And so we need to be cautious because the fire, of course, because this month, especially with the month of Av, Leo activates the Huba, the holy flame of desire. Huba is an Aramaic word that means the holy flame of desire. That fire is being ignited within us, but we can't force it, because if we force it, we will burn, and we will burn others. And so I like to think of the image of lamas, where we're just in the field walking and celebrating our abundance, celebrating everything that we have created until now. And so we need a little bit of that energy in this month of August, because there's a sense of action, of moving forward, especially with that Lion's Gate energy, but at the same time of patience, of understanding that all will be revealed, all will be manifested in the time it is supposed to be manifested. Right? This is very important to understand. And in this beautiful month that we move from Av, Leo, into the energy of Elul, Virgo, this is the most beautiful, beautiful energy, especially starting on the 15th of Av, Leo, the lunar cycle, which is the 8th of August. Again, the Lion's Gate, the day of love, the day to be loved, to honor love. I am divine love is the mantra. So we go into the month of Elul, Virgo, and in the biblical astrology, Leo is the last month of the zodiacal wheel and Virgo is the first. So there is, on the 15th, this activation of the queen and the king getting married, the intermarriage. And as we go into the month of Elul, Virgo, the 13-petaled rose is activated. The Magdalene 13-petaled rose is activated. And this is the frequency and the presence that is pre-creation. That is before the Bereshit. The Bereshit is the first word of the Genesis story. And before the Bereshit is pre-creation. And the 13-petaled rose represents 13 petals of Magdalena Shekhinah, Mary Magdalene as the embodiment of Shekhinah, the divine feminine presence. And this rose becomes activated. And what it actually does, and the transmission is from Divine Mother. And she says, no matter where humanity is, I am there for humanity. No matter what is happening, I am there for my children. My children will not be destroyed. And so we can feel that. And when we go into the frequency of the 13-petaled rose, this is very, very powerful, because not only do we experience and feel that sacred marriage of the king and the queen, right, which is the Virgin, the Virgo, and the Leo King, we feel that within, but at the same time, we feel the sacred marriage to the mother. Remember, marriage begins with Ma. There is a sense of marrying the mother, marrying our soul, marrying Shekhinah, right? Marrying our journey, our incarnational journey. And so this is the month when we go into Elul of the lover and the beloved. I love my beloved and my beloved loves me. My beloved loves me. I love my beloved. That's what the frequency that we are working with. And so even though we can always work with the 13-petaled rose, it becomes activated in the month of Virgo Elul. And every year we do the 13-petaled rose. We started last year, actually. I did them before other years, but not formally. And you can actually join our 13-day journey. I will leave the link below for those of you who really want to dive into this powerful activation that will really set the tone for the rest of the months. It is, I think, one of the most powerful practices that I have ever done, working with the 13-petaled rose. And so these are the most evident creation frequencies. There's so much happening, right, with the planets and the stars, but this is really what's marking the tone of the month. Remember that the letter Tet, the Aramaic Hebrew letter Tet, created the zodiacal frequency of Leo, and it is all about our sacred sexual energy. Will I create? Will I destroy? Not the channeling of it. That's the letter Lamed, right? And but making that decision, who am I going to align with, the mother of creation or the mother of destruction? Very important. And then we have the letter Kaf, Aramaic Hebrew letter Kaf, that created the sign of the sun, created the sun. And so a lot of solar codes coming in. And so there are many mantras that I like to practice in the month of Av, Leo, in this beautiful month. And there are many mantras in Aramaic that I share with those who are in the Mary Magdalene Priestess and Priest training. And I'm going to share one of them with you. And it's one that I do every year. And it's one that I do when I need the energy of confidence, right? This is all that Leo energy, the energy of mission, of moving forward. Again, the month of Av, Leo, the Lion's Gate, and sovereignty. And so it is Eenana Noohra D Alma. I am the light of the world. Yeshua repeated this in Aramaic. And Noohra D Sharaga. And Noohra is the light that pushes me into my mission. The light that, it's like a lamp when we light a lamp, right? That light is being lit by the angelic realm, by the high holy teachers, or Shekhinah, or Mary Magdalene, or Yeshua. It's being lit and I am being pushed forward. It is the light that I need to move forward in my mission. So it's Eenana Noohra D Alma and Noohra D Sharaga. And so let's chant this together. And I just want you to close your eyes and connect with your breath first. Long, deep breathing, and really just bringing the breath into the womb space. Deep into the womb space. And just follow me. You can practice this mantra as long as you want. Very, very powerful. You can come into that vibration of mission, of action, of the light, moving forward with the light. I am sharing the transliteration and the meaning below. And just remember that if you would like to form part of the Desert Rose community, I'm also leaving in that link. It is free, open to all, and you can join us. I'm sending so much love to all of you. Have a beautiful, beautiful month. Ahava.